Right, we are back on. Today is March it's the 18th or the 19th? 19th. March 19th, 2015. It's been a pretty uneventful year as far as winter goes in Minnesota, but Tom thinks there might be just a little something to make it more interesting in the coming days, right, Tom?
That's right, and let's all settle down here and just take a deep breath. Nobody, including myself, is saying a massive snowstorm for Sunday into Monday. But I do feel that at least there are some hints of an accumulating snowfall even in the Twin Cities as we head into Sunday evening and the overnight hours of Sunday night and into Monday morning. Now here's the key, Bill. This is going to be a very narrow band of snow. So being 48 to 72 hours out, it's extremely difficult to predict exactly where that 50-mile, maybe 100-mile wide band of snow is going to be located. But my gut feeling is that we may even get surprised here in the Twin Cities, because I think that snow band is going to sit up somewhere close to I-94, and I'll show you a map on that in a little bit. But I do feel, again, that portions of North Dakota, northeastern South Dakota, southern or central Minnesota, and into western Wisconsin is going to be in line for some accumulating snow. That's going to surprise a lot of people, especially when you consider, Bill, how warm it's been for the last 2 to 3 weeks.
So where's this coming from?
It's coming from the west of us, of course. Most storms will move from west to east. This is going to be kind of a modified clipper that's moving in, Bill. And what I'm showing you right now is the GFS computer model. And there's a couple of reasons why I'm showing you the GFS. Is number one, you haven't heard much about snow, at least for the Twin Cities here as we head into Sunday and Monday. Most media outlets have not been saying snow, but I'm going to show you why I think there's going to be snow and why some people are not mentioning snow. And it's all, again, it comes down to the GFS computer model, because most people look at the GFS and they like to go by what it says. Okay, so this is the jet structure. Of course, the river there.
Tom, just a quick question. But you don't think there's more Euro people than GFS people?
Well, that's a good question. That we should do a little research on that, shouldn't we, Bill? I don't know what to tell you about that. I mean, I just think a lot of people choose their favorite models, and it's just it kind of goes without saying that people in America, I think, choose the American model, but maybe not. But the media outlets that I've watched, at least this evening, none of them have mentioned snow in the Twin Cities or Eau Claire or Rochester, and it's likely because they've just been looking at the GFS computer model. And let's just get into that, Bill. I'll show you that right now. This is the jet stream structure from the GFS computer model, and look at what we have. We have a strong jet just east of Minnesota and another jet with stronger winds moving into the west coast. In between, which would be the Dakotas and Minnesota, you get some lift. This is Sunday morning, so we are going to have a storm system and some lift in North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota, and then that lift just continues east throughout the day, so that on Monday morning there should be a storm system here in our area. Not a very strong one, but certainly enough to produce some snow. And looking at the 500 millibar, this is a vorticity map, Bill. And why I'm showing you this is because look at this red and pink area. That's what's called a disturbance. And this is early Sunday morning. You can see that disturbance is in Montana. And then just take a look at what it does. It moves east into southern Minnesota by Monday afternoon. So somewhere between Sunday morning and Monday morning is when we are going to get precipitation to break out over Minnesota and Wisconsin. Now, this is the reason why, Bill, that most people are not predicting for much precipitation in the Twin Cities. And we're going to zoom in here to the northern parts of the U.S., and here's the Twin Cities, of course, and here's Minnesota. Now, watch what happens as we go through time. This is Saturday evening, okay? Again, this is the GFS computer model. Look at what it does. It breaks out precipitation just south of the Twin Cities by Sunday afternoon. Okay, so look at this closely. This would produce the axis of heavier precipitation, including some snow, from about Mason City, Iowa, back northwest to near Bismarck, North Dakota, and basically missing the Twin Cities. Okay, so that's the GFS computer model, right, Bill?
Yep.
Now, let's take a look at the European computer model. This is going to be the jet stream structure from the European computer model. And this is Saturday night, late night, around midnight. And here, let's get into Sunday morning. Again, the jet stream structure, this is the jet stream from the European model looks almost identical to the GFS, okay? So a similar setup, but let's take a look at the precipitation forecast, QPF, from the European model. And we're going to zoom in to Minnesota. Again, here's Minnesota. Here's the Twin Cities. This is Sunday at about 9 a.m. Watch what happens as we go through time, Bill. This is Sunday afternoon, about 3 p.m. Look at where the European model has the access of heavy precipitation. Basically from about Minneapolis-St. Paul on northwest along the I-94 corridor to near Bismarck and Minot. Okay, let's continue to go through time. Here's Sunday evening. Bullseye of precipitation right over the Twin Cities. And then Sunday night at around 9 p.m., that bullseye continues to be right around the Twin Cities and then moves east to near Eau Claire and then southeast into Rochester. So if you were to believe the European computer model, Bill, you would expect precipitation to be located right over the Twin Cities, at least the heaviest of it, right over the Twin Cities late Sunday afternoon and into Sunday evening. Now,
you think it'll be cold enough if that precipitation comes to be snow?
Well, let's take a look at that, right? 850 millibars, Bill. You know this chart very well. This is the temperature graph, the temperature profile at 850 millibars just above the surface of the Earth. And anywhere where you see this light blue shading, Bill, that's your rain-snow line, right? That's 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius. Look at where the Twin Cities is located. And this is, again, at about 9 p.m. Sunday. Certainly cold enough to support snow in the Twin Cities at 9 p.m., and that just continues throughout the night and into Sunday morning, certainly, or I'm sorry, Monday morning, certainly cold enough for snow in the Twin Cities. Now, one last graphic I wanted to show you is the snowfall prediction from the European computer model. And this should make your eyes open just a little bit more, Bill. This is 3 a.m. Monday morning. Look at where it has significant snow. Right over Rochester on Monday morning, and we'll back this up just a little bit. And here's Sunday evening. Snow, significant snow, from the Twin Cities on east to Eau Claire and then southeast to Rochester. And then, of course, if we back it up even further, that snow would extend back up to Bismarck on Sunday afternoon. So let's put this in time. Let's put this into motion. Here's Sunday afternoon. Here's Sunday evening. The snow moves from Bismarck to the Twin Cities. And then here's Monday morning. It then moves southeast in the southeastern corner of Minnesota and southwestern Wisconsin. So
if it does happen, Tom, it sounds like that's at a time of day when it would maximize the possibility of accumulation.
Well, and timing is critical here, Bill, because if this precipitation falls in the Twin Cities at 3 in the afternoon on Sunday, it's likely that it'll be a rain-snow mix that probably won't accumulate. But if it does fall during the overnight hours, let's say from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. on Monday morning, so 9 p.m. Sunday night to 6 a.m. Sunday morning, then you can be rest assured that it's likely going to be snow, and it likely will accumulate, even though the ground is fairly warm with all the warm temperatures we've had lately. It still can and probably will accumulate if the timing is between 9 p.m. Sunday and 6 a.m. Monday. So that's something we really need to take into account, especially this time of year. And of course, Bill, if the storm system is strong enough, once it comes on shore, maybe it initially is stronger than what we expected, well, then that storm could be very strong as it moves into southern Minnesota, and then we could get some dynamic cooling involved with this, which means that our atmosphere will just cool even more than what we expect, and that's when the snow can really start to pile up quickly here in our region.
Tom, it always seems like this time of year, there's just surprises sometimes. You know, I mean, just because there's so much going on, the atmosphere is changing, it seems like a time when, you know, things can happen, more snow than people might think.
Oh, you're right on, Bill, and I agree with you, and that's why I just really want to tell people right now you need to be on your toes, because you never know what's going to happen. It's March, it's late March now in Minnesota, March Madness, right? And we've been fooled before, and we've been tricked into thinking it's going to be spring, and we've had warm temperatures before, and then all of a sudden half a foot of snow or a foot of snow can fall just like that. So we need to be on our toes, especially this time of year. Now, Bill, of course, you're probably wondering, hey, where's that travel impact graphic?
I was exactly what I was wondering, Tom. Seriously.
Okay, well, here's what it is. Now, we're still, 48 to 72 hours out. But what the heck? Let's take a quick stab at it. I'm expecting the axis of heavier precipitation to fall from about La Crosse back west-northwest to the Twin Cities, and then continuing west-northwest to Bismarck, North Dakota. Again, if the profiles are cold enough in our atmosphere, this will likely fall with snow as we head into late Monday and early Monday morning. So there you go, Bill. Now, this is going to probably have to be shifted a little bit, of course, Bill. You know that we always do that as the storm gets closer. If I were to give you a gut feeling, I would tell you that we may have to shift this north, maybe by 30 to 50 miles. But again, I-94 corridor is I think, a pretty good bet right now. And then maybe even as far south as the Mankato and Rochester area, as I see it now.
Sounds good. Well, if things get more interesting, we can check back the next day or two and see.
We certainly can, Bill.
This could be the last time we have something to talk about, right? For the winter.
It could be, but another storm, by the way, for Tuesday and Wednesday. This one looks to be a little bit warmer than the Sunday and Monday storm. We may even have some thunderstorms here. Thunderstorms on Tuesday that may even change over back to snow on Wednesday. So there's lots to talk about.
Good.
All right, Bill.
All right. Take care, Tom.
Bye-bye.